Hello, my Linians! This is Teacher Julian, and today we are going to discuss the topic basic terms and dimensions of human sexuality. This video tutorial is based from your learning activity sheet in Health 8, Quarter 1, Week 1. So bring out your learning activity sheet and turn your learner's module to pages 203 to 209. Our learning targets for this session are: discusses basic terms in sexuality as an important component of one's personality, and explains the dimensions of human sexuality. Before the lesson, let's have some warm-up questions. I have here 2 questions for you to answer. The first question is, what term defines a man or a woman based on biological characteristics? Time starts now. What do you think is the answer? Very good! The answer is letter A, sex. The next question is, what do you call the sets of activities that society considers as appropriate for men and women? Time starts now. What do you think is the answer? Fantastic! The correct answer is letter C, gender role. Let's talk about sexuality. Sexuality is a natural and healthy part of life. It is everything about being a male or a female. It is the most important aspect in masculine or feminine identification. Sexuality involves the name given at birth, the clothes worn, the toys played with, the friends played with, and the roles and responsibilities at home. Sexuality provides a sense of self-worth when sexual understanding is positive. Are you familiar with the basic terms in sexuality? Here are the terms for you to ponder. First is sex. It is centered on the biological basis of being a male or female. It is labeled that you're given at birth based on medical factors, including your hormones, chromosomes, and genitals. Most people are assigned male or female, and this is what's put on their birth certificate. Sexuality. It is an integral part of what we do and who we are. It is the way in which we experience and express ourselves as sexual beings. It is the total expression of an individual's self-concept. Third is human sexuality. Human sexuality is the quality of being male or female. It is the way in which we experience and express ourselves as sexual beings. Gender. Gender is a social concept and how men and women should think, feel, and act. Gender equality. It permits man and woman equal enjoyment of human rights. Last is gender role. It refers to set of roles, characteristics, and expectations of how a man or woman should feel, think, and act as influenced by parents, peers, and society. For this session, we are going to discuss the dimensions of human sexuality. Sexuality refers to your total self. Physical self, it is the way you look as a man or a woman. Next is mental self. It is the way you think as a man or a woman. Third is emotional self. It is the way you feel about yourself and others. Social self. It is the way you interact with others. The last one is ethical self. Ethical self is the way you value your relationships. And also, here are the purposes of gender and human sexuality education. First is to promote wholesome family and interpersonal relationships. Next is to provide you with the knowledge and skills needed to establish and practice healthful behaviors. And last is to produce a student like you who can take responsibility for sexual health. Now, let us have some recap. What is human sexuality? Human sexuality is the quality of being a male or female. It is the way in which we experience and express ourselves as sexual beings. What about gender? Gender is a social concept on how men and women should think, feel, and act. What are the dimensions of human sexuality? The dimensions of human sexuality are physical self, mental self, social self, emotional self, and ethical self. At this point, turn your activity sheet to enrichment part. Reminder, do not write anything on this activity sheet. Write your answer on a separate long band paper. For this enrichment activity, in part 1, you are going to match each definition in column A with its basic term in sexuality in column B. Write the letter of the correct answer. In part 2, for this activity, you need to modify the correct description of each dimension of human sexuality. Write true if the statement is correct. If it is false, write the correct word or words by changing the underlying ones. And for your wrap-up activity, answer this question briefly but substantially. I hope you learned something today. If you have questions or clarifications regarding the topic we discussed, feel free to contact your subject teacher through text, call, or post your questions in your official Facebook group or page. Thank you for watching! Don't forget to like and subscribe.